Our next guest on the weekly show this morning, we have with us back for her segment, Whitney's Women, Whitney Reynolds from WYCC. How are you?
I am doing great and very in the festive holiday spirit.
You're always in a festive spirit.
I know, but I am extra. I mean, I'm telling you, I am decorating trees, cookies, you name it. I've been going a million miles an hour with the holidays.
Unbelievable. And here you are this morning for another great segment, and you got, it's really a special segment that ties in with the holidays.
It is so amazing because, we have outstanding women on the show, and this story was something that I didn't think about. And that's something that's always piqued my interest is when I get tossed a topic or an idea that I've never thought about. And not that topics that we regularly hear about aren't important, but this one touched my heart because I said, oh my goodness, we have to tell everyone about it because they need to find out how they can get involved. So I have Christina McGrath with me today. How are you, girl?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I am doing great. And she brought this story to my attention about women that have domestic violence in their life and they're going to seek some help. And they go into these homes and here they are at Christmas or the holidays with their kids and, maybe they don't have gifts. And so it's overlooked so many times.
That's true because sometimes, it can be such a situation, such an urgent situation, they have to get right out.
For safety.
There is no planning, for the holidays after that.
Right.
And so Christina actually has been putting together baskets. So tell us about it.
Last year, I went to a ladies' luncheon that we all go to, all the ladies out here, and they were talking about the shelter for abused women. And I think it's something that we hear about, but it might not resonate with you, so you kind of move forward with your everyday life. But what she mentioned is, in most cases, they are pulled out of their home in the middle of the night. And in 98% of the cases, the children are not aware of the abuse. They look at their father as their loving dad and they think their home life is great. That was surprising to me. Thank goodness I wasn't raised in a home like that. But so they're pulled out of their home with all their toys, their pajamas, their friends, and they're taken to the safe house where they make it as comfortable as they can. But in many cases, they don't have, the right pajamas. They don't have toys. They don't have things that make them feel comfortable. And it touched me because I feel like we're all living these busy lives and everyone has their problems. But this is something that really resonated with me because the kids didn't choose this. And of course, you want this holiday season to be magical for them. They're deserving of that. So we came up with an idea to create care packages for the children, and we purchased pajamas and toys and everything that we think that would make them feel special when they came in the home at night. And then we made a care package for the mothers and wrote spiritual messages. And we used $1 bills as the tissue paper because we thought that was, clever. And I would have to believe in their case as the mothers. They're feeling sad and alone.
Probably scared.
Terrified.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified. And what we wanted to assure them is that there's people out there that care about them and love them. And with enough love and support, they can turn their life around and live a very beautiful, lovely life.
The holidays are tough just overall. So then the thing that I think makes this more of a mystery is these safe houses aren't really known because they're safe houses. Mm-hmm. So they're made to protect people. They aren't really advertised. But the company that you go through or the organization you go through, they have it set up. You donate to them and they can drop them off to the houses.
Correct. It's called Connections for Abused Women and Their Children. And you can go online and they have a number on there that you can also call in, and any donation would be appreciated. Any letters, anything, any toys.
Yeah, a lot of people are always looking for something around the holidays to give back. Mm-hmm. And this is just another example of something that you can do. And again, it doesn't have to be the biggest donation, doesn't have to be the biggest gift. Any little bit helps.
I put some accessory Mercado jewelry in there. Yeah, I gave them to her today. I was like, here's some earrings. Yeah,
and it's going to be great. I mean, anything just to make them feel special and that people in Chicago care about them.
Do you know how many women are in there?
At this time, they usually keep 40 to 50 women at a time.
Wow.
And the children are enrolled in schools and, their life is made to feel as normal as it possibly can. And It's a wonderful organization that people give their time and love, and anything that we could do to support it would be greatly appreciated.
You know, my parents, they have foster kids right now, and the boys aren't used to getting presents. So this year they've kind of been freaking out about like, oh, we have presents. This is such a new thing. But imagine, like, so that's a really exciting thing for them because this is new. But imagine if you're used to that life of the holidays, the gifts under the trees. And
Let's
then
look forward to it. It's the best time of the year for them.
And then all of a sudden you're in this new home, and where is Santa? And so that's what I think is incredible about the heart that you have in these baskets. And, you know, because these moms are there and, you know, who knows, they had to leave everything. And so now the kids are going to be able to have a Christmas.
Right. And I was raised to much is given, much is expected. And I think in many cases people want to give, they just don't know how. And so I would empower anyone out there to find ways. The more you give, the more blessed your life is going to be, the more joy that you're going to have. You can find little ways. It's pulling a name off of a tree at a mall and buying the kid a toy and a coat, something. It will warm your heart. It's going to make your holiday season so wonderful. It'll bring you more joy than it'll bring them.
Well, and I think it's important, too, that women out there who are involved in these domestic situations, and this has been in the news an awful lot lately, ever since Ray Rice and the NFL became such a national story. And I think it's important for them to know that there are these organizations out there that you can do this and still have a holiday for your kids, because you don't want that to be the reason, you know, the holidays, and you don't want that to be the reason that you don't get out
That's a good
in time.
point. That is such
You know,
a good
there
point.
are organizations that will help you even at this time of the year make things as normal as possible. So if you need to get out, get out.
Get out. And what a great way to start the new year with a fresh, safe slate.
Right.
And I also think you would feel alone. And you have to believe that there are people out there that want the very best for you. You can turn your life around. There's organizations. We will help you get your kids in school, get you a new start, feel safe, feel protected. That there's so many people out there that want to help you and love you and help you with this new start.
And I don't want to pretend like I'm an expert on this, because I'm not a battered woman. I think it's obvious. But I do know from talking to people in those situations that the hopelessness and not knowing if you're going to be able to get that kind of help is often a reason they don't leave when they probably should and need to.
Right. And it's scary. I mean,
It's
just imagine.
it's a very scary time.
I've been married, you know, I'm not in that kind of environment at all, but I couldn't imagine like leaving my husband, even if he was doing that, which he's not. But I couldn't imagine, like, it's scary. It's a scary thought of like leaving someone that's been in your life so long. So knowing that there are people with their hands reaching out towards you, knowing that they are going to make you safe and help you along this process, and your kids too, I think is just phenomenal. And I'm so glad that people are like you, Christina, that are giving back and finding unique ways to give back this holiday season, because we hear of all these different things. And like you were saying, nothing's, giving back, it always does something for the heart. But if you're looking for a unique way, I think that
a lot of times
so
people want to
amazing.
give back, but there's not maybe a cause. All these
Right.
causes are great, but maybe there's one that really hits home more and pushes them over the edge to give, and maybe this is that one.
And like you were saying, it's been such a hot topic this year, and that these women need us. So do the kids.
Yes. And I also feel that in many cases the women feel guilty. They feel sad to pull their children out of their everyday environment. And so that's where I feel like making the care packages and making them feel loved and making them rest assured that this environment is going to be amazing and we're going to take care of you. And Chicago is a city that gives back. And
Absolutely.
we're going to wrap our arms around you and love you and care for you. And your journey forward is going to be amazing, much better than what you're living now. And there's no need in looking back. Look forward in the new year.
Especially in the new year.
Yes.
Start the year off right.
2015.
So once again, tell us where people can donate for this. And you were saying that they just can drop it off there and they can deliver it to the safe house.
Yes, it's the Connections for Abused Women and Their Children. And unfortunately, because it is a safe house, it's not as accessible. You can't necessarily pull up and drop off gifts. So I would encourage everyone to go to that website and research it there. And there's a phone number that they will help you and find an area where you could drop off the gifts. And there's a person there that will answer and gladly accept anything that you want to give and help out, and we would appreciate it.
That is so awesome. What a great way to end the year of Whitney's Women. I mean, I'm so happy. Like, my heart is smiling.
It's been a really great segment. We've had a lot of fantastic women on, and all kinds of different causes have been covered. And Whitney is the one that puts this together whenever she's on. I literally do nothing. I just say, okay, come on, and that's it. So thank you, Whitney, for doing this all year round. It's been a fantastic segment.
I love it. I am looking forward to 2015 because I tell you, the women in Chicago are amazing.
They are.
Yeah, there's so many people to highlight here.
And tell everybody where they can follow you. They've probably got some time off now before the end of the year. And on one of these Saturdays, kick back and watch the Whitney Reynolds Show.
Yep, the Whitney Reynolds Show on WYCC every Saturday at 4. Or you can go to WhitneyReynolds.com and catch up on all those episodes. I mean, I can't think of a better New Year's Eve celebration than a Whitney marathon.
There you go.
There you go. WhitneyReynolds.com, folks.
Perfect. Whitney Reynolds from the Whitney Reynolds Show here on The Weekly Show with their segment, Whitney's Women. And Christina, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.